Hey guys, so I just wanted to give you guys an overview for what you are doing for our Thursday class. And so one thing you're going to be doing is we're continuing and kind of wrapping up our discussion on rhetoric. So remember on Tuesday we talked about rhetoric, and it was rhetoric part 1 was the learning module you did. So today will be rhetoric part 2. And in that you are going to learn about rhetorical analysis. And if you are not familiar with rhetorical analysis, then this is very introductory, but it gives you the idea, it kind of makes you keep in mind all the things you have to remember or take note of when you are writing something. And then once you kind of have that perspective, then you kind of start to see it everywhere, whether it be in ads or even with like the campaigns going on and all of that. So, that is what we will discuss on there. If you are familiar with rhetorical analysis, so if you've taken AP Lang or some other courses where you had to do that, it will not be as in-depth as you would do for like, the AP Lang exam kind of thing. So, but it's just basically a surface level knowledge of what these things mean and how are they working. And I'll give you an example on that in just a second. The next thing you will do is go through the MLA learning module. You may or may not be very familiar with MLA. So I have a few different sources posted for you. One that you definitely need to bookmark. It's from Purdue University. It's their online writing lab, which is like the Bible of Englishy things. It is an excellent go-to source. I've used it since I was in college. And even now as a teacher, sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't remember, if that particular thing needs to be in italics or in quotes. And then I go and look, and has examples for MLA formatting and all of that. I also have another thing posted that goes to my website that explains or just kind of gives a rundown of MLA. And I also made a template for you guys, an MLA template that you can just copy and use with all the things that I expect with an MLA paper for my class. And then you have a few graded things. I just added one extra one on there, the presidential rhetorical analysis. So that's the other thing I was going to talk to you about. I am giving you 2 ads to watch, one from Trump's 2016 election and another from one of Obama's elections. I can't remember which year it is, but they both won their elections. That's why I picked those 2. So these 2 were chosen not for political reasons, so don't even try. But just because both of these guys won those election campaigns. So these ads were used in a successful election campaign. So as you are looking at and learning about a rhetorical analysis and rhetorical situation, you are going to look and see, okay, well, how did they use those principles in making this ad? And look, their end goal, they were successful because they won, right? So the 3 things, spoiler alert, that you are going to pay attention to: the audience, the speaker, and the message. So keep those things in mind as you are looking at the, we're going through your rhetoric part 2 stuff, but also your presidential assignment. And that will be due on Saturday. So, what you need to keep in mind. So like with the speaker, all right, so tell me about Trump. Okay. And this isn't a political thing. It's not like a who I like better thing. And, this isn't like an opinion-based assignment. This is just step out of your own biases and opinions, and you're just looking at the facts and what you are seeing with how their messages were communicated. So, who do you think their target audience was in these ads? Who do you think like maybe what age group, is like a certain demographic, that kind of thing. And their message, do they use any kind of thing in their message that maybe evokes certain feelings, or maybe really, you've like a whole bunch of, uh, ethos or something like that, like really just gives a lot of credibility. And also, just think about who is giving the message. So it may or may not be that candidate speaking in these ads. So think about all those things, but definitely go through all the rhetoric learning module first, so then you get an idea of what kinds of things to look for. And then when you do the analysis, then that will make that easier. And it doesn't need to be really long. I think what I put in there was like 2 or 3 sentences for, the speaker, and then 2 or 3 for the audience, all that. So this is just a very basic thing, but it will help you be a better writer, thinking about keeping your own audience in mind and, okay, what kind of message am I trying to convey? So that's the purpose. And you don't have a discussion today. So cool. And you won't have one every week, just because our weeks are so condensed with the format that we have. That might be a little overwhelming. So, but you still have your journal and your 2 quizzes that are due on Saturday. So if you have any questions, let me know.